YN. Why did you never told me? You know very well that this is so toxic. The boy in front of you nodded, slowly looking down. You felt bad for him, so you tried to console him. I'm sorry for shouting, but this is really wrong. YN. You know that I hate when someone tries to bother you, but your own girlfriend is doing it, and you're telling me this now. I swear I'll not leave that filthy girlfriend of yours. You stood up, but he quickly stopped you. Jimin. No, please, YN. He said softly, making you feel more mad. YN. Why are you still defending her when you know perfectly she's wrong? Jimin. The relationship I'm trying to save, that was never meant to be. You scrunched your eyes with confused look. Jimin. She was just using me. She's told me herself. You gasped at his words. She broke up with me saying that I'm of no use. Jimin is your best friend in college. You're both together since high school, then got admitted in the same college. He is the most innocent boy you have ever seen in your life, so that is why you're always protective of him. Know that people wait for these kind of kids only, who are gullible and so they can do any kind of tricks which pleases them. But you hate it. You know that Jimin was bullied in middle school too. You helped him and fought with his bullies. But now it is happening again, and you hate the fact that Jimmy never fight back. So you're always worried about him. But today he told you that his so-called girlfriend was just playing with him because of his innocence and his looks. You're not even sure if she was ever serious. Well, it doesn't look like. But you're feeling bad for Jimin because you know he loves his girlfriend so much. But does it matter now anymore? You signed and caressed his hand softly. YN. I'm sorry that you have to go through all of this. He shook his head. Jimin. Why are you sorry? You did everything for me. It's me who's not even capable of fighting to those people who hurt me. YN. No, Jimin, don't feel bad. I'm sure they will get their karma, and I promise that everything will be fine soon. You said with a smile, but stopped when you saw tears in his eyes. You panicked and don't know what to do. YN. Hey, you hugged him softly and rubbed his shoulders to ease him. You have seen him getting sad and complaining about the situation but never saw him with tears, which has made you weak too with him. YN. Jimin, you're stronger than you can imagine. Please don't break because of it. Let's fight together. He nodded slowly and wiped his tears. Jimin. Thank you, YN. You're always there for me. You smiled and nodded softly. YN. To ease your mood, let's go to a cafe and have your favorite cake. Jimin. But YN, it's late. It's already past your curfew time. You got offended at his words. YN. I'm not a child to have a curfew time, and he's not my parent. You roll your eyes while you chuckle. You're talking about your boyfriend, Jungkook. He never restricts you, but for your safety, he always asks you to come home before dark, which you had no problem to follow. But sometimes you also want to spend a night with your friends, like tonight, which you are going to do, as you have already thought about it. Not the whole night, but at least you could enjoy coffee with your friend, who needs you more than anything else. So you went to a cafe with him. You both were enjoying your cake and coffee, unaware of the fact that your boyfriend is calling you, but your phone is silent, as you have to keep it on silent in college. But you didn't even look at the phone, as your priority is Jimin right now. Jimin was feeling a little better now, as you are with him. He cannot even imagine what would have happened to him if he is not friends with you, because he don't have any friend of his except for you in the whole college. Jimin. Ryan, thank you so much for being there for me. You smiled and nodded, chuckling a little as he has a little cream near his lips. He took a tissue and wiped the cream. He smiled and thanked you. Ryan. Also always tell me what is happening in your life. He nodded. Jimin. I will, and don't stress out because of me. You have a life to look after too. You rolled your eyes and both laughed. Jimin. Ryan, let's go now. I'll drop you to your house. You shook your head and declined politely. Ryan. I'll take a bus. You go to your house. He insisted on dropping you home, but no one can win against you, so he accepted that he will go from the bus. He also wanted to apologize to Jungkook because he knew that he might scold you for being late. But you denied for that too. Don't worry, Jimin. He knows you, so he'll not be mad. He signed and nodded. He both bid goodbyes, and you sat in the bus while seeing few missed calls from Jungkook. You tried to call back, but he was not answering you back. You texted him too, saying that you will come in few minutes, but he didn't even saw your message too. He might be busy, you said, and drop off on your bus stop. You entered the house and dropped yourself on the couch, taking a breath of relief and stretching your body from all the tiredness of the day. Jungkook. Oh, you're back. You looked at the voice and saw Jungkook. YN. You're already home? I thought you were busy with your work and will come late, but it nice that you are here. You smiled and went to him to hug him, but he backed off, making you confused at his behavior. Jungkook. Did you have fun? Confused expression was evident on your face. YN. What do you mean? Come here. You said and tried to get close, but he again backed off, making you mad too. YN. Where are you going with this conversation now? He scoffed and poked his tongue on his cheek, implying he is mad at you. But you have no idea why he is behaving like that. YN. Is it because I didn't pick up your calls? He didn't say a single word, so he continued. Because I was busy, I was doing some important work. He came near you with a hard expression, curling up your stomach with his aura. Jungkook. Is it important work or were you with that idiot boy? Your eyes widened at his words. He has never said anything like this to Jimin, even though you know he hates Jimin. But what you felt just now was more heartbreaking than anything else. Jungkook, you were ignoring my calls, but you have time to flirt with some other boys. You just listen to his hurtful words, making you hard to believe that he's the same guy who claims to die for you if needed. Jungkook, I never pressurized you to not go anywhere, but I told you not to roam around when it's dark. Are you so dumb to get that? YN. First of all, I was not roaming, as you said. YN. And who are you to make rules for me? You are my boyfriend, not my father. You spit in anger, making him close his eyes. Jungkook, I know that very well, but it's for your only safety. YN. No, I don't want your safety. I'm sick of following your rules and getting followed by your man. Just leave me alone for a freaking day. Is it too much to ask for? You said with tears in your eyes. Jungkook, don't change the topic. You just tell me what were you doing with that guy. You scoffed at his words. YN. So you know that with whom I was. That means you're even following me now. Jungkook, YN don't with me. Just tell me the truth. He said with greater teeth. YN. Why are you even asking when you will not even believe my words? Jungkook, just say that you are out of love and want someone other now. You froze at his choice of words and you look at him. YN. This is how you think about me? You said, stuttering and holding your tears. 2 years of relationship and you have this much trust on me? The long-awaited tear fall on your cheeks as you cannot comprehend his words. He realized what he said and rubbed his forehead with frustration. Jungkook, YN, I didn't mean it that way. I was just very mad. You did not want it to hear him anymore, so you turned around to go to the bedroom, but he held your wrist. Jungkook, stop, don't be mad. Just tell me what was going on today. YN, leave me. You struggled to let go of his hold, but he didn't budge. Jungkook, if you are not doing anything wrong, then why are you not telling me the truth? He said finally, leaving your hand. YN, Jungkook, you don't believe me. I get that. So now let's end the topic. He grabbed your hand and made you look at him angrily. Jungkook, are you telling me now or should I ask him personally in my basement? YN, so now you're threatening me? Jungkook, I did not want to, but you're making it hard for both of us. YN, why don't you get that he's just my friend and nothing more? Jungkook, I don't believe that. He scoffed at his word. YN, yes, why would you believe me? You said walking past him. Jungkook, so you're not leaving an option for me, are you? You stopped at your track. YN, if you do anything to him, I'll leave you. You said, but you didn't hear any reply from him for a few seconds. But then you realized the weight your words hold. He came in front of you and you swear to God you have never seen him this mad ever. Jungkook, what did you just say? You look down as you don't mean what you said. YN, I'm sorry. Jungkook, so you're saying that you will leave me? YN, no, I didn't mean it. He ran his hand through his hairs. Jungkook, you will be not meeting him from tomorrow. You frowned your brows at him. YN, excuse me? You said in disbelief because you cannot believe him. Jungkook, you heard me. He retarded. YN, I am not following any of your rules. You said angrily. Jungkook, YN, don't test my patience. You raised your brows. YN, don't order me around. I'm not your slave. Jungkook grabbed your shoulders a little bit too tightly, making you groan. Jungkook, I'm not repeating my words. Did you get that? You just looked in his eyes without an expression and felt a loud ting sound. Your eyes flashed with a memory with same type of actions happening with different people. You could hear some distant screaming and yelling of a person, someone very dear to you, crying for help in front of your eyes. You could hear Jungkook calling you, but you cannot hear it clearly, and your eyes slowly shuts, and the darkness engulfed you. Jungkook, Ryan, hey, what happened? He held your body, which fall on his. He slowly pat your cheeks, but you didn't answer. Jungkook, she's unconscious. He called his doctor immediately and went to the bedroom with you in his arms. Tears flowed continuously while you were hiding beside the sofa, watching the horrifying scene in front of you. Ryan, Mom, you said between your sobs and hiccups. Dad, didn't I say not to go there? Why did you went there, huh? He grabbed her hairs while she whimpered and begged him to stop, but he was deaf for her. Your father, who don't even act like one is hitting your mom mercilessly. All she did was she went to her mother's place to meet her. But your father hates when she goes out without his permission. But he didn't go easy on her this time, and now he's venting his anger on her physically. Mom, I'm sorry, please. I'll not go anywhere next time. Please leave me. She begged, but instead of listening, he hurt her more badly. You sobbed more at the way she's getting hit and the way she's crying. Why, Dad, please stop. You said in between your sobs, but you flinched when he suddenly looked at you with hearted eyes and started coming closer to you. Dad, what did you just say? He laughed devilishly, making you more scared. You hid your face in your hands, but prayed to God that he'll not harm you. He grabbed your shoulders painfully and made you look at him. Dad, you shouldn't talk unless asked for. Did you hear me? Open up. He was about to slap you, but your mother grabbed his hand. He saw what your mother did, and his face became red with frustration and anger. Mom, do whatever you want to do with me, but not with my daughter. Dad, you, how dare you, huh? You look above, but the second you look up, your mother screamed in pain, making you shut your eyes tightly. You are feeling bad for your mother, but you cannot help her in any way. Those screams were very loud and were echoing in your ears. Even when you're trying to close your ears, they were audible, and it's making you sick. And Mom, you breathe heavily, with the sweat all over your forehead. You saw someone coming towards you, maybe because of the dark room, but that person somehow resembles your dad, making you more scared. No, stop, don't come. You said, standing up and biking off. Jungkook, it's me. He said hurriedly, making you look at him carefully, as if confirming that he's not your father, and he's really Jungkook. Jungkook, he nodded with a faint smile. You sit on the bed looking phased. Jungkook, you were looking scared and weeping in your sleep. You just listened to him. He slowly hold your hands and you look at him. Jungkook, I'm sorry for whatever happened today. I did not want it to be like that, but the situation. He sighed. I'm sorry that I behaved like that, even after knowing everything. You looked down. Jungkook, I'm sorry, Ryan. Please, I will never behave like that. Please forgive me. He nodded and smiled a little. Ryan, I know that you are not like my father. But today, I just. He hugged you, and the emotions erupted inside you, making you sob like a toddler. Jungkook, hey, it's okay, sweetheart. It's alright, I'm here. You stopped after a few seconds. Ryan, I miss mom. You said, trembling. He again hugged you, and you both lie on the bed while you sob hysterically. Jungkook, shh, love, please calm down. After some time, you slept, while he looked at your sleeping figure and cursed himself for making you cry. Jungkook, I'm extremely sorry, Ryan. I shouldn't have reacted that way, but I promise you that I'll make everything right. He slowly kissed your forehead and went out, informing the maid to take care of you. Jungkook, so you had a breakup. Jimin nodded with a worried expression. Jimin, but why are you asking this suddenly? And where is Ryan? He asked in one breath, making Jungkook a little mad at his concerns for you. Jungkook, she is fine, he said and stood up to leave, but Jimin stopped him. Jimin, something is not right. Tell me what happened. Jungkook, don't get stressed for her. She's good as long as she's with me. Jimin, then why did you come here to ask about my whereabouts when she could have told you everything? He signed and looked at him. Jungkook, that is none of your business. She chose not to tell me. That's why I'm here. Jimin, she didn't tell you? So you forced her or did you harm her? Jungkook, I will never do anything like that to her. She's just, he signed. Jimin, tell me what happened or I'll ask her right away, he said angrily. Jimin, what? He screamed, making Jungkook to wide his eyes. You did what? Did you know how much she is still suffering from that trauma? He said angrily, making Jungkook look down. Jungkook, I know I did a big mistake, but I cannot help but to get suspicious. Jimin, you two are a perfect couple. Then how could you do that? Jungkook just looked at him and nodded. Jungkook, that is why I have to apologize to her, he said standing up. Jimin, yes, you should, he said while Jungkook gave him a sharp look. He was about to exit the place but stopped hearing Jimin's voice. Jimin, also tell Wayan that I broke up with her and everything is sorted with my ex-girlfriend. Jungkook nodded, but Jimin still have something to say. Jimin, I know you're a really good man for her. Jimin, I know it is easy to doubt someone, but so hard to trust. And this time, please trust me. I really care about her, and she's just my good friend and nothing else. I want you to protect her from all the odds and not to harm her in any way. He listened to Jimin carefully and nodded slowly. Jungkook, I'm sorry that I doubted you. Jimin, I know you're sorry. Now just go and apologize to her. He nodded and went out from there. Jimin, he's a coldie, but really does care for her. He chuckled and texted you, asking if you are doing okay or not. You smiled seeing his text and answered him. While talking with Jimin for a few minutes, you saw Jungkook coming in. He saw and came towards you with a smile. Jungkook, are you okay now? Feeling better? You nodded but didn't say anything. He shifted towards you and held your hands. Jungkook, why and I wanted to apologize properly to you. I'm really sorry for whatever happened earlier. You must be feeling horrible. I'm so sorry for that. Jungkook, I know everything about your past, but still, I let it slide and my temper took over me. I promise this will never happen again. He nodded and smiled a little. Why in? Why are you apologizing again, Jungkook? I just feel so bad about whatever happened, and I also met Jimin. You suddenly look at him with surprised expressions. Jungkook, he told me everything and even cleared my confusion, so I'm sorry for doubting you too. He nodded, and he asked me to tell you that everything is sorted and he broke up with his ex-girlfriend now. Waen, oh really? Thank God, he broke up with her. He nodded. Jungkook, I was feeling bad about the situation, so to reduce the confusion, I went directly to his place for my answers. Waen, and I felt that telling you about Jimin will not solve any of his problems, and at the same time, you also said those things to me, so I decided not to say anything. He looked down. Jungkook, I'm still sorry that I said you're bored of me and want some other. I didn't mean it, it just came out. You nodded. Waen, I get it, but I was really sad that you said that. Waen, but I'm also sorry for the fact that I spat without thinking and said nonsense to you too about leaving you and all. I'm sorry for that. He nodded. Jungkook, but I feel that I made you mentally weak. Jungkook, you could punish me if you want to, he said lowly. Waen, no, I don't want to. I just want us to control our actions before carrying them out. We can do that, right? Jungkook, yes, we will. I promise. You smiled and hugged him. He kissed your forehead. We both are little angry birds. You chuckled with him. You realized that this is the place where you feel the most jolly and protected. He might have few exceptions, and everyone does have, but he is also ready to change for you, and you too, for the good. And that is why a keeper. You felt that, and smiled, hugging him more tightly.